There's something that I've been noticing in myself lately, and I know that I'm not the only one. It's this subtle state that I slip into without even realizing it. Now, it looks like being productive, getting things done, moving through my day, but underneath it, there is this urgency that is driving me. This hurry up and get it done. Even the things that I really want to be doing. And I had a moment yesterday that actually made it come into a full focus for me. I was headed out to the lake, and instead of actually being in the joy of doing what I love to do by going kayaking, I found myself rushing through it in my mind. I kept thinking, I need to get there faster. I need to get on to the next thing. And I just squeeze it all in because there's so much to do today. And as I was driving out there, it dawned on me, where am I actually trying to get to? So today we're talking about hurry and how we can start to be more present in our lives and really be in the energy of what we desire. Welcome to the Soul Aligned podcast. My name is Andrea Crisp. I'm an author, guide, coach, and I support intuitive women in reconnecting with their inner knowing so they can live, lead, and create from a place of deep alignment. My own path has been one of unraveling, releasing old identities, healing patterns, and learning to trust the wisdom within. This space is an invitation to return to yourself, to explore the inner work, the nervous system, the energetic shifts that allow your life to unfold with ease, clarity, and truth. So take a breath and let's begin. Just yesterday, I had something happen in my life that I felt compelled to share with you. And it really was sitting with me in a way that I knew was a pivotal moment for me in my life. That if I could get the lesson and I could understand it and I could start to move in it, that it would make a huge difference in my life. And when something like that happens, there's this desire to share it. And so that is exactly what I want to do with you today is I want to share what has been coming up for me around a lesson that just came up for me yesterday. And even as I was recording this podcast episode today, I think this is now my third time trying to record it. And I had notes and I had written some things down. And I thought, you know what? I actually just need to embody the lesson and be in my body and be in the now and let what is going to come through in the present. So let me take you back. Yesterday, it was Monday, and I was going to go out to the lake and go kayaking. Now, I knew I had a full day planned, but I wanted to get out on the lake early in the morning and do my kayak fairly early while the sun was coming up. It was going to be a really hot day. And I knew that if I got there early enough, the water would be really calm, which is my favorite time to go out on the kayak. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to get my bathing suit. I'm going to get myself together. I've got my gym bag. I'd like to go to the gym afterwards. And so I got into the car and I started driving out to the lake. But the whole time that I'm driving there, I'm thinking about, okay, when I get there, I need to get out there on the water and then to go for a swim. And then I need to, wrap it up and get to the gym. And then from the gym, I need to get home and I need to start doing some things that need to get done because I was getting ready to launch the Soul Aligned Collective. And I had so many things that were just ready to come out of me. Well, here I am in the car thinking about all of this. And it dawned on me, Andrea, you are actually thinking about what the next thing is and not actually being fully present to what you're experiencing right now. And you haven't even gotten there yet. So how are you going to be fully present for what it is that is going to come through you? So I asked myself, why am I hurrying so much? What is the whole point of this if I am trying to get to something else instead of just being fully in the energy of now? And how often are we doing that? In our lives, personally, in our relationships, in our business, in our finances, in every way, even in the fun that we have. It's almost as if we're not fully present in what we're doing because we're thinking of what comes next. Because if we can think about what we're going to, then it feels like we're checking something off the list. We're being productive. We are actually getting things done. We're accomplishing things. And it keeps us in this feeling of being in control of our lives. When really what it is we're playing out a pattern of lack. We're playing out a pattern of not enough. Like we think as though there's not enough time for us in a day to do all the things that we want to do. So we have to rush through everything so that we have time. We have to hurry up and get through the day so that we can hurry up and eat, so that we can hurry up and watch TV, so that we can hurry up and get to bed, so that we can hurry up and redo the whole day over and over and over again, which keeps us in a pattern that we are constantly staying in the same energy. And I know for myself that I have really felt this shift in my energy of really embodying this desire that I have for my life and that I have for my business, that I have for the podcast. And it has felt like this kind of like this churning energy in me that feels really, really exciting. But then there's also the part of me that is trying to hold like onto the control and be like, yeah, but Andrea, you don't know how it's all going to turn out. So you better stay in the energy of control and lack so that you can have some sort of anchor point and familiarity. And I found myself doing that yesterday when I was going to go kayaking. I found myself pulling myself back into that old energy. I found myself being in the lack energy, being in the not enough energy, and not being in the co-creative energy of what it is that I truly want to bring to life in my own personal life, in my business, and in every other way. And so when I started thinking about it, I was like, okay, I need to like pause for a moment here and ask God, like, what is the lesson that I need for today? What is wanting to come through for me so that I can make these big changes, so that I can start living more embodied, so that I can really bring forth what it is that I know I'm meant to bring into the world, that I'm meant to create, that I'm meant to hold space for. And I really felt like God was saying, Andrea, you just need to slow down and be fully present. Like, be in the here and now. Be in the moment. Because this is where I'm speaking to you. This is where the download is coming. This is where you're getting what it is that you need. This is where we're co-creating together. But when you're off into the future, trying to control or check something off the list or get to the next thing because you think that you need to get somewhere faster, you're actually pulling yourself out of the present. You're pulling yourself out of the co-creation and into the future, thinking that if you get there, that somehow it will manifest faster. And that's not how it works. It's about being fully present in the here and now. It's about enjoying the present moment. It's about embodying the energy of what it is that you desire. But what it is that you desire, even though you think it's out in the future, it's actually in the now. Because we only ever have the now. The future is something that we have constructed so that we can find a timeline. So when people talk about collapsing timelines and thinking of, bringing something from the future into the now, it really is about feeling into the energy of what it is that we desire now. So if I desire to have a successful launch, if I desire to, call in a relationship, then it's important for me to be in the now and be grateful for what it is that I have, for who I am and what I have to offer and the things that I can really bring to a relationship or bring to my business or bring to a community, and be in the energy of that and not in this like far off future thing that I am trying to, get to. And I know that so many of us struggle with this, thinking that we constantly need to get to the next thing. And friend, if I could just encourage you to take a moment to slow down and to recognize that what you actually desire is in the now. So think about that for a moment. Maybe you have been feeling in yourself like you have been rushing or pushing past something, or you're in the middle of summer and you're wishing it away, thinking, well, when fall comes and I get to do this, or when the kids go back to school, I'll be able to have more time, or when I make more money, I'm going to have this. And so much of that keeps us from what it is that we want, instead of allowing ourselves to be fully in the here and now. Now, a funny little story in this is that as this has all been happening, I have two little cousins. They're actually my cousin's daughters, and two girls, 8 and 9. And I went swimming with them the other day. We were playing and we were on the lily pad and we were jumping around and having fun in the water. And they kept telling me, we're going to come over to your house and we want to have a sleepover. And I said to them, okay, anytime. And little did I know that very night they were going to show up. And then they have showed up every day since then. And for them, and even as I'm saying this, I'm getting it. It's been God's way of saying, Andrea, you cannot stop to enjoy life, and you can't enjoy the time to play. And these little girls, 8 and 9, showing up at the house have been an invitation for me to get out of my head and to get into the here and now, to get into the present. The more we enjoy what is here for us right now, the more we're in gratitude for what is, the more we're open and available for what we desire. So yes, we can still call in all the things that we want: a thriving business, relationships that are healthy, good boundaries. We can call in the money that we want. We can call in all of these things that we desire when we're in the energy of it. And we're only ever going to be in the energy of it when we're fully present in the here and the now. And man, this has hit home for me in so many ways, even as I am in this beginning stages of the launch of the Soul Aligned Collective. I have been sitting on this idea for 8 months now, thinking, okay, when the time is right, I'm going to launch it, and kind of going back and forth between what it is that I think I should do and what it is that I feel called to do, and then kind of getting, confused, with all of the semantics, right? And just the other day, I was like, you know what, Andrea, you're in your head about this. You're trying to figure something out that really doesn't need to be figured out. You know what it is that you want to create. You know the space that you hold for people. So why aren't you just actually putting that out there and not trying to logic it out or trying to figure everything along the path? The truth is that I don't know what's going to happen in 6 months from now. I don't know what's going to happen, in 6 days from now. But what I do know is that there has been this calling on me to create community, and it's always been there. To have a safe space for women who are in leadership, women who are entrepreneurial, women who run businesses, women who are spiritually minded, to have a space, a safe space where they can come and where they can be in community, where they can be with like-minded women, where they can have these deep conversations. And so often we go into these communities and we see these people having these really great conversations, and there may be 2 or 3 of them, and they're kind of in their own little group. And we kind of feel like we're on the outside looking in, wondering, well, how does that work for me? Like, where's my space? And I've always had this desire to hold a safe space for women that feels inclusive, and a space that they feel like they can come in and they can fully belong. Not learning more things, but actually feeling supported, feeling connected, and allowing themselves to be fully embodied in what it is that they need so that they can take those steps forward. And that's what the Soul Aligned Collective is. It is a space where you can come and connect, where you can come and you can be in those relationships, where you can get that support that you need. But it's also a space where you're receiving something for your journey. You're receiving that practical inspiration and that spiritual connection to move forward, and a space to fully land and fully let things move through you. And I'm really, really excited for the possibilities of what can happen within this community. I wanted to create something where it was available for everyone. But of course, I wanted to then say, okay, for the woman who is like, I need a little bit more, Andrea, then there's also a second option called the Soul Circle. And you get everything within the collective, but you also get an additional call once a month that you're with a smaller group of women having those deeper conversations, having hot seat coaching, really getting to the heart of what it is that you are bringing into the world and how you're embodying that next level for yourself by being fully present, fully supported, and fully in the now. So this has been a big lesson for me, and I hope that it helps you too in whatever you are doing in your own life and in your own business, that you can take that step back and go, you know what? I need to just be available to what is meant for me in the here and in the now. Knowing that when I'm more grateful for what is. I am more fully ready to co-create with God, with the universe, with the divine, and bring into existence what has been in your heart to bring into the world. So friend, I am so glad that you have joined me. I'm excited about the Soul Aligned Collective and of course the Soul Circle, both of these beautiful communities working as one in tandem. And if you're interested in hearing more about that, I'm going to leave all of the information for you in the description and in the show notes. But you can go to andreacrisp.ca/collective to find out more about how you can join the collective, because we are starting in August. So it is coming up. And of course, there's going to be a special incentive for those of you who jump in July. Thank you so much for being with me today. Friend, I love spending time with you. If this episode supported you, share it with someone who's on their own journey. And please leave a rating and review to help the podcast grow. You can connect with me on Instagram at Andrea Crisp Coach or visit andreacrisp.ca. Until next time, trust your soul knows the way. Original music and production by Stephen Crowley.